Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher reiterates stance on transgender athletes in sports, common sense. Please subscribe to RZ News for more updates. Pro Football Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher recently spoke against transgender athletes in sports and reiterated his stance Wednesday. Earlier this month, Urlacher appeared on the Global View podcast and wondered why it is even a debate. On Wednesday's edition of America Reports, he said it is common sense. Athletically, it's just not fair. You know, men are meant to play with men, Urlacher said. That's why there's the NBA and the WNBA or LPGA and PGA Tour. They're different. I just don't understand how people think it's okay for a male to participate in a woman's sport. There are just so many biological differences. You had the guy that was swimming with the women there from Penn a couple years ago with Riley Gaines and some of her teammates, and you saw how he was with the men compared to with the women. It's just not fair. It's pretty obvious to most people. Urlacher also questioned why other girls and women are not speaking out but pointed out that doing so has hurt them. You see these girls stand up, and it's really hurting themselves when they stand up because they're not competing because they don't want to compete against a man. So, they're stepping down from their competitions, he added. And it's kind of funny coming from people who push women's rights, and they want to fight for women's rights, but they don't want to fight for women's rights in sports. They want men to come in there and dominate the sports against the women. It's not fair. It's common sense. I think we've seen President Trump talk about it since he's been elected. It's pretty much common sense just to not have men in women's sports. It's just not fair. You know, I saw a track athlete in South Carolina a couple of years ago doing the same thing, just winning every event. There's biological differences. Men should not be competing against women. It's not fair. It's dangerous. You saw the volleyball player, the man spiking the ball, hitting the woman in the face. It's not fair and it can be really dangerous. It's funny what Aaron Rodgers said. You don't see women try competing against men in our sports. You don't see them trying to play football. You don't see them try and do things that they wouldn't be as good at or could get hurt at. Illinois, where Urlacher spent his NFL career, has become a hotbed of controversy over the issue of trans athlete inclusion in recent days after a biological male competed in a 7th grade track meet against biological females at the Napier Prairie Conference meet. Several other states have defied President Donald Trump's executive order on the issue, resulting in Maine temporarily losing federal funding.